I found the card in his jacket pocket. A debit card, dark blue, shiny, from a bank called Meridian Trust. Not our bank, not the joint account we'd had since we were 23. I was digging for his car keys because mine wouldn't start again. The check engine light had been on for 6 months, and I'd stopped bringing it up. I put the card back. I didn't say a word, but I thought about it every day for the next 2 weeks. And what I eventually found made that blue card look like a paper cut. Nathan and I met sophomore year of college. He sat next to me in a statistics lecture and asked if I had a pencil, which I did, and then he never gave it back. That became the joke for 12 years. When our daughter Lily was born, he tucked a pencil into the hospital bassinet with a bow on it. The nurses thought it was strange. I cried. We were the couple that worked. Not flashy, we never posted about it, but we were steady. Friday pizza nights where we'd split a medium because a large was $2 more. He drove 40 minutes each way to a job he said paid $62,000 a year, so I could work part-time at the vet clinic and be home when Lily got off the bus. At least, that's what I believed. He always handled the money. Not because I couldn't, but when Lily came and we dropped to 1.5 incomes, he said it'd be easier if everything ran through him. He'd pull up the budget spreadsheet at the kitchen table every month, columns for groceries, utilities, gas, the mortgage, and walk me through it line by line. We're tight this month, but we're okay. I never checked behind the spreadsheet. I trusted the man who remembered the pencil. When Dr. Reeves offered me the lead technician position, full-time, benefits, a $12 raise, I brought it home like a gift. Nathan looked at the numbers and said we'd actually lose money during the transition once we paid for full-time childcare. So I said no. That trust, the ordinary kind you don't even notice, turned out to be the most expensive thing I ever gave him. 2 weeks after I found that card, I searched his office while he was at work. The filing cabinet behind the bookshelf, the one he kept locked. I used the key from the junk drawer. Inside was a cream-colored folder, no label. Bank statements, 4 years of them. The account was at Meridian Trust. The name was Nathan James Prescott. Just him. No joint holder, no beneficiary. And the balance on the most recent statement? $73,412. He'd been depositing between $1,900 and $2,200 every month for 4 years. The deposits matched his paycheck dates. His real take-home wasn't $4,000. It was $6,200. He made almost $90,000 a year. He told me 62. I need you to understand what that means. The year I stopped refilling my anxiety medication because the $45 copay felt like too much, he had $19,000 in that account. The winter Lily needed snow boots, and I bought them at Goodwill and spent an hour scrubbing salt stains off the soles. He had $31,000. And when Dr. Reeves offered me the job that would have changed my career, and Nathan looked me in the eye across that kitchen table and said, we'd actually lose money, he had over $40,000 in an account I didn't know existed. But I hadn't seen the worst part yet. What I found next made the balance look merciful. The statements went back 4 years. Lily is 4. I checked the first deposit date 3 times. April 14th. Lily was born April 11th. He opened the account 3 days after our daughter was born. I was still in the hospital. My C-section incision was held together with surgical tape. I couldn't stand without gripping the bed rail. And somewhere between the parking lot and the vending machine, my husband sat down and opened a secret bank account on his phone. I remembered something. That afternoon, April 14th, he came back to my room with a coffee and a cellophane-wrapped cookie from the cafeteria. He handed it to me and said, "You're doing amazing. We're gonna be fine." I looked up at him. I was holding Lily against my chest, 3 days old. And I said, "I know. I trust you completely." She was 3 days old, and he was already budgeting my poverty.
I didn't confront him that day. I put the folder back, locked the cabinet, dropped the key in the junk drawer. Then I walked to the kitchen and started washing Lily's lunch dishes. That's where it hit. Standing at the sink, hands in warm water, holding a purple plastic plate with dinosaurs on it. Suddenly, I was back in every moment he'd ever told me no. My dad's 70th birthday. I wanted to fly home, just me, one night. Nathan pulled up flight prices and shook his head. "Maybe next year, babe." My dad turned 70 once. The Christmas I asked about a real tree, $35 from the lot on Route 9, and he said the artificial one made more sense. I watched Lily press her face into the plastic needles and pull back, confused. She was trying to figure out why it didn't smell like anything. She was smelling a lie. The hot afternoon, I buckled Lily into her car seat, and the vinyl burned the backs of her legs, and she cried. The seats were cracked from summers of sun. The whole car smelled like melting plastic and old heat. I peeled her thighs off the seat and whispered, "I'm sorry, baby." He had the money to fix that. The entire time. Every memory I had was a room I had to walk back through with the lights on. None of them looked the way I remembered. I didn't say a word for 9 days. I went to work. I packed lunches. I sat across from him while he opened the spreadsheet. Tight, but we're okay. I nodded. On day 3, I called a divorce attorney. Day 4, a forensic accountant named Diane. Day 5, I requested 4 years of tax transcripts from the IRS. I told Nathan I was running to the store and drove to the library to use the printer. When someone's been lying to you for 4 years, the grief hits first. The anger comes second. But eventually, and I felt it happen like a click, something quieter takes over. I stopped being the woman crying in the bathroom with the faucet running so he wouldn't hear. I started being the woman with a filing system. Diane told me on our first call she'd seen this pattern hundreds of times. The spreadsheet is always the tell. Honest people don't need a spreadsheet to prove they're honest. I hadn't confronted Nathan. I was building something, and I needed him to keep believing the lights were off. I told him on a Tuesday. Lily was at my mother's. I set the folder on the kitchen table, the same table where he'd shown me the spreadsheet every month for 4 years, and placed the divorce petition beside it. He didn't speak for almost a minute. Then he looked at me and said, "I just wanted something that was only mine. Something that was only his." I'd given up a career, a prescription I needed, a flight to see my father, and he wanted something that was only his. Diane had traced every deposit. Every one matched a paycheck. The tax transcripts confirmed his real salary, $89,000, not $62. The account was marital property, earned during the marriage, hidden deliberately. And in our state, deliberate concealment of marital assets isn't just frowned on, it's penalized. The judge used the word dissipation. She said Nathan had dissipated marital assets by hiding income while his spouse made sacrifices based on false information. She awarded me the house, retroactive spousal support for 4 years, and the full balance of the Meridian Trust account, every dollar. Nathan's attorney asked for a structured payout. The judge said no. Asked if the balance could offset other property. The judge said the concealment made that inappropriate. $73,412. The house, support, and a custody arrangement reflecting what the court called a pattern of financial manipulation inconsistent with co-parenting in good faith. The last line in the ruling said Mr. Prescott's conduct demonstrated, and she read it from the page, a sustained and calculated deprivation of his spouse's autonomy. Autonomy. That's the word that stays. Lily starts kindergarten in September. I drive her now in a car that doesn't shake above 55. The seats don't crack in the heat. There's no smell of hot vinyl baking in the sun while I grip the wheel and tell myself we're fine. I took the position. Dr. Reeves held it for me, said she always knew I'd come back. Some mornings I sit in the driveway after drop-off. Clean air, cool seats, quiet. No spreadsheet, no one telling me what we can't afford. He budgeted my poverty for 4 years. I just needed 9 days.